there's a lot of things that go into, you know, having a social media marketing agency, having a successful agency. And I think a lot of beginners really struggle with what things to focus on. You know, they get quite overwhelmed with all of the information that's out there, you know, all of the things that people say to do, but then someone else will say to do it differently and not to do it this way. And, you know, there's so much stuff out there on the internet about social media marketing agencies, and you know, I know a lot of beginners sort of get stumped by it, or they don't really know what to do. So what I want to cover in this video is sort of 4 main tips that I know will help you out if you're starting out, you know, as a beginner within your social media marketing agency. And basically the reason I know that they're going to be really helpful to you is because when I first started out, if I had these sort of 4 things, you know, the 4 tips, but they're also just 4 things that you need to be thinking about at all times within your agency. And, you know, as I said, when I first started out, I know that it would have really helped me if I had something like this to follow. So that's why I wanted to create a video on it, because I know it's, you know, even if it helps just one of you guys out there, you know, it's going to be beneficial doing this video. So first things first is, you know, knowing your worth. Now, what I mean when I say this is, you need to know how much you're worth, and you need to know the value that you can provide to the client, okay? So you're gonna get people, right? You're gonna get people that are gonna try and lowball you in terms of, you know, if you say that you're on the sales call, or you're in the face-to-face meeting, whatever the case may be, and you say it's $2,000 per month for my service, you're gonna get people who are gonna say, no, I can only afford 1,000 or 800 or whatever the case may be. They're gonna lowball you, but you gotta think the only reason they're doing that is because they're trying to get it cheaper, you know? Now, if your sales script is as compelling as it should be, then your potential client, you know, if they're qualified correctly as well, then your potential client will know the worth. They'll know that what you're asking for is a good price, because they will understand how, you know, they will understand how much value there is in what you provide. But you know, everyone's, you know, if someone can get something for 1,000 instead, if someone can get a $2,000 program or service or whatever it is for $1,000, then they're gonna do it, right? So a lot of times, you know, especially not so much in my personal case as much anymore, but you know, a lot of things that come up with my students is they say, no, I can only afford 1,000 a month if they said that their service fee is 2,000 a month, for example. But you know, they can afford the 2,000, like I say, if they're qualified, but they're just gonna try and get it cheaper. So what you need to do in those situations is know your worth. Say, no, it's 2,000 a month, that's what I'm charging. Take it or leave it kind of thing, right? That's how you need to frame it. So not only will, more often than not, the client will be like, okay, let's do it at 2,000. Not only that, but you know, it's gonna show the client that you've got that sort of abundance mindset. It's gonna show them that you do, even if you don't, it's gonna show them that, you know, you probably do have other clients, you know, you don't really need them, and that's going to all add to things, you know, it's sort of going to be a positive sort of impact on your client, and you know, all in all, you will eventually get your, you know, the price that you ask for. But you know, it's like anyone, it's like anything, you know, if you go to the shops, and you know, there's, I don't know, $10 milk carton, I don't know, $10 milk carton, you know, if you could get that for $5, then obviously you're gonna try and get it for the $5 instead of the 10. And it's the same principle, you know, us as humans, we just want things for as cheap as we possibly can. But if you sort of put your foot down, you're like, no, it's 2,000 a month, that's what it is, end of kind of thing. I promise you, in the long run, that will really help, and it will also help give you an abundance mindset that, you know, you don't need every client you speak to. You know, and especially once you start getting more clients, you can start to cherry pick sort of the clients that you actually want to work with. So that's first things first, is just know your worth. People are gonna try and get you for cheaper. Make sure you don't, don't let them take advantage of you, essentially. So first things first is know your worth. Second thing is you need to have clear-cut systems and processes in place. Now, what I mean by this is you want to have things set up in terms of, you know, invoicing, onboarding your clients. They're the main things, but then obviously you also want to have a clear-cut outreach process that you're constantly using, and you're constantly sort of reiterating and making it better and better each day. And also, you know, you want to have a clear-cut service delivery. You don't want to be doing, in terms of service delivery, you don't want to be doing like a bit of, I don't know, bit of YouTube, bit of Google, bit of Facebook, you know, bit of Instagram, bit of this. You know, you want to have one thing that you triple down on. Now, granted, obviously, as you start to progress, you can start doing Google ads if your thing is Facebook ads. That's sort of where my agency is slowly migrating to, is Google ads as well. But, you know, when you're starting out, you either just want to do just Facebook ads. You know, when I started out, that's what I did. It was just Facebook ads. I just focused everything I had onto Facebook ads. So that's in terms of service delivery. Now for invoicing, you know, you want to make sure that you have something in place. So as soon as the client says yes, you know, you want to make sure that you're like, yeah, no worries, let me send the invoice right now. You get all the information, you send the invoice via the, you know, the invoicing software of your choice. You know, you want to have Stripe set up and things like that. So, you know, it sounds quite overwhelming, but it's really not that hard. You just want to make sure that you have sort of simple invoices set up, you know, and in terms of invoicing, and then for like onboarding and that, you want to just make sure that you sort of have some clear-cut things that you need to make sure that you cover. And once again, I've actually posted another video on my channel. I don't know if it's before or after this video, but I go through my personal onboarding process and, you know, sort of the 5 to 6 main things that you need to be covering within the onboarding process of your clients. So that's tip two, is, you know, just make sure you have some clear-cut systems and processes in place for your agency. As you know, not only will it make you look more professional, but also it makes everything much more streamlined for you personally. And, you know, if you have a contractor on board or anything like that, it just makes everything much more streamlined and automated in a way. So as I said, first things first is know your value. Second thing is have clear-cut systems and processes in place. So tip 3 is, you know, you want to be only ever focused on one niche. One niche. You don't want to be doing, you know, real estate agents, e-commerce, restaurants, gyms, dentists. You know, you don't want to be doing that because everything gets so messy. You know, you can't implement the same strategy to each one. You know, you can't be doing all that because, you know, you just got so many different things. You know, it's just a mess. You know, this one hits quite close to home because a lot of my students come to me and they've got all these things happening, and it's just a real mess. There's no way you can scale doing it like that. Now, granted, with content creation or something along those lines, you probably could do a few different things, you know, because it's not too sort of dependent on what type of business it is. It's more just getting some good videos and whatnot. But, you know, if you're doing Facebook ads like I am, and majority of you probably are, you know, with me personally, I'm in the e-com niche, so I know what converts best for e-commerce businesses. You know, with gyms, I'm not too familiar with what converts best. Obviously, I have an idea because, as I said, our students come to me in all different niches. So I personally have a good idea of what works best for a lot of different niches. But, you know, if you're just starting out, then you want to focus on one thing. You want to just focus on restaurants or just focus on dentists or e-commerce or whatever it is. You want to make sure you pick one niche. Something that you're kind of passionate about will help, although it's not too necessary. It's just something that, mainly you want to pick something that you understand. You want to pick something that you understand what converts well. You understand sort of what pain points you can sort of touch and it will convert them more. Things like that, you know, that's the kind of niche that you want to focus in on, and you only want to, you know, you want to make sure that you focus on one niche only within your agency. Now, the last tip that I have for you guys is you want to look to start outsourcing as soon as you can. Now, what I mean when I say outsourcing is, you know, outsource the service delivery aspect of your agency. So you want to sort of give the work to somebody who's more experienced, somebody who can get far better results than you personally can. You know, you want to be able to, you want to do that as soon as you can, as soon as you feel comfortable doing it, because as I said, not only are they going to get better results than, you know, you could, so obviously then that will lead into your clients staying with you far longer, but also it's going to free up your time so you can focus on different aspects of the agency, you know, whether that be lead generation, building out some really killer processes and systems within your agency to automate it, or simply, you know, if you just want to sort of step back and take a bit more time to do something completely different, you know, your contractor will allow you to have this free time to basically do whatever you want, and it's one of the sort of necessary things that you need in order to scale your agency. Because if you start scaling your agency, you're not going to have time to, you know, not only do the service delivery aspect of the of your agency, but then also to actually deliver some really good results, and to do communication with clients if they've got any problems, and to bring on new clients. And you know, at some point either something within your agency is going to break or you're personally going to break. So look to outsource as soon as you can. Once again, I do have a few other videos on my channel covering outsourcing Facebook ads, and sort of, as I said, covering that kind of aspect of the agency. But this is another thing that you really want to focus on. Maybe not when you're first starting out, because I know this is kind of different for each individual person. Some people want to outsource it straight off the bat, and then other people sort of want to run the ads themselves, get a feel for it themselves, and then outsource it. So as I said, you know, whenever you feel comfortable, you want to get it outsourced. You want to start looking at outsourcing as soon as you possibly can. So I hope these 4 very broad tips kind of help you. You know, even if they don't help you directly, it's just good things to think about when you're running your agency. As I said, I would have loved to have something like this when I first started out, so that's why I recorded this video, is because I know that, you know, some of you beginners out there, I really do believe you could benefit from these few tips. So I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you found value out of it, and I will see you in the next one.